This program will be video recorded and placed on various internet websites at some point today, and you will see two follically challenged individuals.
But I started losing my hair when I was 28. I am not better with it or without it. And as God rest his soul, my father said, God gives and God takes. So it's okay with me and I'm fine. But at one time or another, I will tell you that back in the 70s, when I first came to this country, I used to hear all the time that people who lose their hair in companies they normally do not rise to the top to become a CEO of a company. You do not become a CEO of a company unless you have very thick, beautiful hair.
Okay.
That's what people used to say.
Yeah.
So I thought I will never make it anyway.
You ran 8 miles this morning?
Yes, I did. That's our Saturday morning run, is about 8 miles, and my running partners are listening. One of them is an attorney, and he told me about several issues that we should discuss this morning.
You run in the dark?
Yeah, we start early in the morning, about 5:15 normally this morning. Normally on Saturday we start at 6, but we started at 5:45 this morning so I can arrive here in time to have the honor to be on your program.
And an honor it is, I must say.
It is my pleasure. Now that we're done with the formalities.
Let's get down to the side stuff.
And by the way, may I just say one more thing, since I am the co-host and I'm taking over the program. Also, if I would like to sometime during this program to let your listeners know about my website, and perhaps we can also put this video that Mr. Borelli is taking on my website, and they can click on YouTube and they can see it as well. And my website can be accessed by www.repselim.com, repselim.com. repselim.com. It's a beautiful website, very, very nice. It has lots of pictures on it. It has lots of videos that you can click on YouTube and see the speeches that I made in the General Assembly, excerpts of them. And basically, they are pro-business, pro-people, pro-life, whatever you want to call it.
All right. Now, let's get down to seatbelts on school buses, because I've explained my position. You are an advocate of seatbelts on school buses, so go ahead.
Well, here is the situation. As I was driving up, I was listening to some of your callers, specifically Dan from Manchester and Irene from Toronto. And they were talking about matters that are important. I think what we are neglecting to think is the fact that our First Amendment rights, and allow me to explain this. I am probably one of the first people who introduced a bill for seatbelts. Not so much on school buses, but back in 2002, there was a bus trip coming back from Canada, and they were coming to the Waterbury area. I believe in upstate New York, if my memory serves me correctly, they had a very bad accident, and the bus went into the ditches, and several people unfortunately lost their lives in that unfortunate accident. So what I did is I introduced a bill to put seatbelts initially on buses, not school buses. And it came to committee, and there was a public hearing, there was testimony, and it died in committee. I think what we are trying to say here, not so much it's something we want to do, it has to be done. What I'm saying is a public hearing is always welcome to let people do the pro and the con. Let people express their point of view. In Hartford, there are public hearings about everything and anything. Anybody who comes up with an idea, usually there's a public hearing. And it is, unfortunately, taxpayers' dollars. Every time they turn the light on in Hartford, you are paying the bill. Every time the air conditioner is clicked on, you are paying the bill, the taxpayers. So as long as those lights are on, there is nothing wrong with having a public hearing to let people know their opinion. And believe me if I tell you, I sit through public hearings. I am a member of 3 committees. It's good to have a public hearing. And bills sometimes either they die in committee or they move forth. Unfortunately, these days, all the bad bills move forth and all of the good bills die. I really don't know if the seatbelt bill would die or would not die. But let the people talk about it, and let the people discuss it, and let the opinions be heard. That's what I am proclaiming.
But if a bill comes on the floor of the House for seatbelts on school buses, how would you vote?
I don't know yet. The reason for which I tell you I don't know yet is because I would like to hear the public's opinion. I like to hear what people have to say.
Do you understand my point of view?
Of course I do. I do understand your point of view, and I will welcome you to come and testify, because the public hearings are open to the public. I want people to know that. Public hearings are open to the public. Public can come in, sign in, and testify on issues that are important to them. That's what we do in Hartford. I would like people to know that this is not just a closed-knit community. We, the legislators, decide what is good for you and just go ahead and do it. I mean, some legislators do think that way. I don't. But the public hearings are an avenue for people, the average Jane Doe, to come and testify before legislators about issues that are important to them.
Okay, but there are those people who will say that the co-chairs of these various committees rig who speaks first at these hearings to support their point of view on a particular bill.
And I do agree with you. Yes, it does happen. But not every co-chair, not every committee. Like I will tell you that in the Transportation Committee, Representative Guerrera and Senator DeFranco are two of the nicest people I met in my life. It does not happen in the Transportation Committee. The Commerce Committee, Representative Berger, my colleague from Waterbury, it does not happen with him either. But there are committees that I agree with you. In the Labor Committee, I'm ranking member on the Labor Committee. And even though it is the Labor Committee, Representative Ryan and Senator Prague, they do not rig it. But there are some committees that do, definitely.
Name some.
Judiciary. Absolutely. Absolutely. Representative Lawler and Senator McDonald. Yeah, they do that all the time. And you know what? I like very much to change that. I like very much to have the people be allowed to speak first. I tell you, and I say it with lots of sadness, there are people who come to testify and they sit for 10, 12 hours waiting for an opportunity to testify. And in that very specific committee, I've seen it happen myself. If you do not agree with their comment, they offend you. They say they demean you. And that should not happen.
And it's sad that Dr. Pettit had to wait as long as he had to testify on three strikes and you're out legislation.
And I remember crystal clear that day, yes, definitely. There's no argument here. I remember when Dr. Pettit came and he waited and waited, and Representative Lawler just gave some excuse that obviously I did not buy, unfortunately. But, you know, sometimes legislators think that they are infallible, they are invincible. Who are we? We are the representatives of the people. And when I go to Hartford and I walk to the office, it's not my office, it's the people's office. And you know, I said that before Scott Brown did. Several years ago, a member of Waterbury asked me, can we go upstairs and see your office? I said, no, it is your office. It's the office of the 74th District, and you are trusting me for a period of time to sit in the chair so that I can do your business and represent you. And many state representatives forget that fact. We work for the people. I have 24,953 bosses. And the bosses, my bosses, are the residents of the East End of Waterbury. I never forget that fact.
Okay, a lot more to talk about with Representative Noujaim. The lines are jammed, and we will get to your...